Sony Michel had another game with very average numbers on Sunday against the Dolphins. I'm Sierra Goodwill here with Evan Lazar. He had about 85 yards on about 21 carries. He did have a touchdown, but again, it was very close to the goal line. So why has he not been able to be super productive in these first two games?
Well, I think that right now the Patriots are kind of stuck in a place where they're figuring out how they're going to run the football in 2019. Remember, last year it was the 21 personnel with the fullback on the field. They had a lot of big, grueling run blockers up front. Trent Brown was obviously in that left tackle spot. Rob Gronkowski was at that tight end spot. Dwayne Allen was also a factor. Those guys are now gone. So without those guys, they need to kind of reinvent how they're going to be as a running team. And do your job part three. Josh McDaniels said there was nothing fancy about the schematics of what we were doing. This was high school Pop Warner football type stuff. Our 11 guys are more physical and going to outblock your 11 defenders. Right now, those guys up front are not getting the job done, and it's kind of trickling down to Sony's production, but it's a team issue. It's not just a Sony Michel issue. So I think that that's the biggest thing is they have to figure out how they're going to get this running game going because it's going to look different than it did last year. The 21 personnel stuff is not working like it did last year.
So if it's a team issue, it's not a Sony issue, we shouldn't be too concerned at this point with his lack of production?
I wouldn't say so. The one thing that does concern me is that out of his 36 attempts in the first 2 weeks, he has not created a single missed tackle. He's not made a single guy make or miss in the hole or in open space. Now, it would certainly help if they could get him a little bit one-on-one, a little bit more with guys and not be stuck in such a phone booth all the time. But that was the one thing that I was really looking forward to Sony Michel in his career was if you go back to his days at Georgia, he was a really elusive runner. He wasn't necessarily, a stop on a dime like a Dion Lewis or a LaShawn McCoy type guy, but he did have some elusiveness, ability to break tackles. So far in the NFL, we haven't really seen that, and I don't know if it's the knee or what the blocking or whatever the case may be, but he's a guy that right now they need to get him a runway. They need to get him some space, some ability to run into the second level and the third level of the defense. That's when they're going to be able to kind of break those bigger runs. And right now that those things are not happening. So I think formationally, let's see him run a little bit more out of lighter personnel, more 11 personnel, get some 3 wide receivers, 4 wide receivers on the field, spread defenses out, get that box count down to 5 or 6 guys versus 7 or 8.
And real quick, we haven't seen Damien Harris in the first 2 games. He's been inactive. Do you expect him to make an appearance sometime soon? We saw him, how he was able to be used, especially in the passing game in the preseason. Do you think the Patriots whip him out anytime soon?
I don't think so because Rex Burkhead's really run extremely well. I think it's going to take an injury to one of those top three guys to see Damien Harris. Now, Patriots running backs in the past, Sony was kind of an exception to the rule. In the past, they've had James White kind of redshirted his rookie year. We're going to see, I think, a little bit of that with Damien Harris. Rex Burkhead right now is one of the better backs in the league through 2 weeks, so he's actually picking up where Sony is not being able to do a lot of those things. It's all about versatility. When Sony's on the field, they run the ball 76% of the time. The team knows it's coming. Everybody on the stands knows it's coming. We know it's coming. The opponent knows it's coming. With Rex Burkhead, there's a little bit more versatility there as a pass catcher.
This FOXBORO report is brought to you by our exclusive sports betting partners at betonline.ag. Head to their website, enter promo code CLNS50 to receive your 50% welcome bonus. For all the rest of our Patriots content, head to our website at clnsmedia.com and subscribe to our YouTube channel at CLNS Media.